Hi everyone. I have a blog. It's www.naturallysophia.com. On this blog, I blog about my 6 years with Sisterlocks, and there are also some life posts, but mostly it's about hair. And I also comment on Sisterlocks forums, and I know a lot about Sisterlocks, although I'm not a Sisterlock consultant. I've been reading some emails and some replies to things that I've seen online, and it made me feel like doing this post because Sisterlocks by far is the best thing I've ever done with my hair up until this point, and I've been natural my entire life. And I want other people to feel the contentment with their Sisterlocks that I do. So I did this post about Sisterlocks and how to be happier with the Sisterlocks you have. The first and very most important thing I can tell you about Sisterlocks in order to be content with them is to stop comparing your Sisterlocks to anyone else's. I did this 7 years ago when I started doing my research on Sisterlocks. I would look at someone's blog or a picture of someone in a magazine or a picture of someone online and say, oh, my Sisterlocks are going to look like their Sisterlocks because our texture is similar. And that may or may not have been true. But I said, when my locks mature, my locks are going to look exactly like hers. Or, my number of locks and her number of locks are nearly the same. So then, therefore, my hair will look like hers. And what you realize once your Sisterlocks mature is that you can be in a room full of women with Sisterlocks and no two heads will look exactly the same because it's going to look like your hair. And you start noticing the nuances in your hair versus other people's hair. So everyone can be Sisterlock, but everyone's, look will be unique to their hair. And to me, that's the beauty of Sisterlocks. In addition to the ease of styling and in addition to all the other wonderful benefits is that you and another person can be Sisterlocked and unique. It's not like having a weave where, you can have the exact same identical hair that someone else is wearing. Your Sisterlocks are going to be unique to you, and the best thing for you to do is to accept what you have and learn to love it. If you can't accept what you have, you're not going to love your Sisterlocks. So you have to accept the hair that you have. Then it becomes easier to love it, and then you'll really celebrate the differences. Then you can get to a place where you can say, she has less or more or shorter or longer or a different color Sisterlocks, but her hair is pretty and so is mine. And that's really how I look at it. I meet women that have Sisterlocks that are bigger and smaller than mine all the time, or that are longer or shorter than mine. I saw one Sisterlock woman that had a very beautiful cut, but it didn't make me feel like I need my Sisterlocks to look exactly like hers for me to be okay. And I want you to feel that way too. So that's the first thing. The second thing I can tell you to do is to stay on top of your maintenance. When you commit to getting Sisterlocks, know that you're committing to the maintenance of it, which most Sisterlocks consultants recommend getting your hair retightened in about 5 to 6 weeks. Every 5 to 6 weeks after your initial install. And that usually takes somewhere between 3 and 5 hours. So it's a time, commitment to the maintenance of Sisterlocks after the initial install. So if you're not willing to put the time into it, I don't feel like Sisterlocks is the best thing for you. And if you're paying someone else to retighten your locks and you can retighten them yourself, there's also, in addition to your time and effort, there's, the money that you're paying involved. Retightening is when your new growth grows out after your initial install and you need to have the new growth kind of crocheted to match the bottom of your Sisterlocks so that they will all lock uniformly. And that's what a retightening is. And you have to do it every other month after your initial install. Now, once I went 3 months without getting a retightening, and I will never do it again. For one, it irritated my consultant. For two, it cost me a lot of time and a lot of money because it was more work for her. So then that meant it was more money for me because there was more time involved in the session. And also, I could have damaged my locks. So then I would have also been paying for the repairing or the effort and the time involved in trying to restore my locks, you do jeopardize your locks when you don't get regular retightening. So the first thing is not to compare yourself to anyone else. The second thing is to keep up with your maintenance. The third thing I would caution you about is to use the correct products and not to overuse products. And what I mean when I say that is, right after I got my Sisterlock installed, I decided that I wanted to wash my hair. And in the beginning, I braided and I banded it. But after that, I decided that was a lot of work, so I stopped doing that. Then after that, my Sisterlock starter shampoo ran out, and I said, I'm just going to go back to using what I was using before, which was the Aveda Sap Moss shampoo, which has things that make your hair silky in it, and that also has chemicals that detangle your hair, which is not what you want when you're starting locking your hair. You want something that is not going to silken your hair, because what that does is take the loose hair out of your lock. And when it does that, it's called slipping. So your loose hair slips out of your lock, you get the slippage, and then you have to have that put back into your Sisterlocks. So that costs, again, time, money, and effort. And if I had just listened and braided and banded and only washed when necessary and not every week like I wanted to, just because it was out of habit, then I wouldn't have done that. So, I caution you to use the correct products and listen to your consultant. Also, a lot of the products that you're using now, if you don't have Sisterlocks, you won't be using then. So things like gel, spritz, grease like Blue Magic or Murray's Wax, or any sort of puddings, hair puddings, or hair conditioners like cholesterol that are heavy. Any of those things, you probably won't need them or even be able to use them until after your Sisterlocks mature. And I don't use anything like that on my hair. I use a light leave-in conditioner. I use conditioning packs now that I've dyed my hair several times to kind of keep it from feeling so fried. And mostly I use shampoo and water for the most of the time that I've been Sisterlocked. So that's it. Less is more with the products. You also don't want to use things that make your hair heavy because it will take the body out of your hair, but also products with heavy oils attract lint, and lint is very difficult to get out of Sisterlocks. So I recommend that you use lightweight products and products that you've talked to your consultant about that are safe to use. They have a wonderful amount of information about which products work best. So I would definitely not recommend you using anything that you have typically used consistently before getting Sisterlocks. The only other thing I can think to tell you is to not overstyle your hair. I know of a couple of situations where women, even after Sisterlocks, had things done to their hair like cornrows or constant manipulation of tension at their scalp with like high ponytails and braided updos, and all these things are beautiful, but if you do them on a consistent basis and it's causing tension at your scalp, you can get tension alopecia, which means your hair separates itself from the scalp. So you can get bald spots or missed locks from the scalp from overstyling with too much tension. The wonderful thing about Sisterlocks is that you can style them, but you don't want to overstyle with hairstyles that make tension at your scalp. So that's what I have to say about that. And also, heat you can use on your Sisterlocks, but heat can also damage your hair, especially combined with dye. So you don't want to over process your hair. One of the reasons why I got Sisterlocks is so that I would spend less time doing things like flat ironing my hair, or, with curling irons and stuff. So you just want to do that sparingly. Anything in excess is probably not good. So I wanted to share these tips with you because I feel like if I had seen this video when I started my Sisterlock journey, it probably would have helped me. So make sure that you are not comparing your Sisterlocks to anyone else's. Don't overstyle your hair. Use the right products. Listen to your Sisterlock consultant and stay on top of your maintenance, and you'll be okay. So that's all I have to say about that. I hope this post has been helpful to you, especially if you're considering Sisterlocks, or if you are new to Sisterlocks, this will help you, or maybe you're just needing a good reminder if you've had Sisterlocks for a while. So I love you all, and I wish you well on your Sisterlock journey. Take care. Bye.